Have you ever felt like there's a vivid fire burning inside of you, yearning to break free and illuminate your life? That, my friend, is your vibrant life waiting to bloom. Welcome to the Vibrant Life Podcast. We are here to empower women just like you to liberate that vibrant life, to live authentically, and to harness the power within.
Our journey will take us through the enlightening realms of energy healing, goal setting, spiritual awakening, and so much more. We're stepping into the light of self-acceptance, of owning our power and potential.
If you have been yearning to dive headfirst into the world of entrepreneurship, or awaken your spirituality, or simply make peace with yourself, your search ends here at the Vibrant Life Podcast. As we embark on this enlightening journey together, we promise to hold your hand through every step of your journey to a more vibrant life.
Your adventure to true empowerment and authentic living begins here. Tap into the vibrant life you've always dreamed of. Subscribe now and join us at the Vibrant Life Podcast. Embrace your vibrant self. Until then, shine on.
Shine on.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the Vibrant Life Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Cassie,
I'm Audrey.
and we're so excited you're here. It has been a couple weeks since we've done this.
I don't even remember the last time we got together. It was right before spring break, so it's been like 3
Right.
weeks.
We had vacations, we had busyness. So yeah, we're excited to jump in with you. I think we've got a good episode for you guys. We are talking about manifesting your dreams through visualization. So that feels like a very nebulous topic, but we're going to get really granular with it. So I'm excited.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's going to be good. So what is visualization? It's basically just like a practicing in your mind what you want. So you can have it be really big, go after a really big dream with visualization, or something really small, something really granular. And I use it both ways. I actually use it so much, I included it in my glow method. So that is part of the outlook. And what it does is it brings your dreams, it clarifies your dreams. So it brings them into your body, it brings them into reality, it brings them into a place where they're grounded inside you.
Yeah, from a spirituality standpoint, it's taking things and seeing them in a different state, more like 5D state. And as you envision it and think about it, you're slowly drawing it in to the 3D.
Yes. Okay, that did not make any sense to me. So that was a bunch of words.
So we're living in
That you
3D,
said.
right?
Okay, okay.
You can physically touch things. Like I'm trying to touch my phone. Here's my hand. But then as you raise your consciousness, your dimensions, you're able to think a little bit deeper. So when you start to have a spiritual awakening, they say you're kind of in more of a 4D state because you know you're here, but you also know that you're a spirit on the other side. And then the higher you go, the more you tap into consciousness as a whole. And so when you're envisioning these dreams, you're seeing them in your head, in your mind's eye.
Yes.
And then, so that's where it starts. It starts as this
Okay.
reality that you can see, but you can't quite feel it yet.
Right.
And so with practice and visualization and releasing the things that don't serve you so you can make room for this new visualization, you slowly start to draw it into yourself. And so then you create things at a higher plane, a higher dimension, and then you bring it into the 3 dimension, which is where we live and where we can feel things and know things.
Thank you. That
Okay.
actually makes sense now.
Okay. Fabulous.
I don't know if I just like blacked out there for a moment. I was like, Audrey just said a whole bunch of words.
Yeah, no, that's okay because I probably needed to explain it. Because something that would have seemed really foreign to me years ago would have been if somebody would have said 5D to me. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Right.
And now it feels like something that's part of my everyday knowledge.
Like vocabulary.
Yeah.
It's part of your yeah.
Because I have been working the last 5 years on creating the dream life,
Right.
and visualizing the things that I want and going after them.
Okay, so let's break this down a little bit more because we've talked about kind of like what it is, but so how I really got started with visualization is as like using it as like a practice run for things.
Yeah.
So I used to be a very anxious and shy person. So I would be like, okay, I'm going into a meeting and I have to give this presentation, or I'm going to have this conversation with a friend or with my spouse at the time. And this is how I want it to go. This is how I want it to say. So I would like see it almost like in like a virtual reality. Like I would be like the sim, right? And you would move you in. So you'd like, I'd picture the space and I'd picture, you know, here's how I'm going to say it. This is the tone I'm going to say it in. And it would help me follow through better, because when you do that, what now I know after looking into the science is like your brain doesn't distinguish between what is real and what's not. And so it actually activates a part of your brain called the RAS, and that it like simulates it. And so then when you get into the situation that you've been manifesting or that you've been visualizing, you're like, oh, I've already been here. I already know this. And so it helped me with moving through some of that anxiety and showing up more confidently.
Yeah.
Because you've already been in it's not a new experience anymore. You've already done it. You've already been here.
It's like a play in your head.
It's like a play in your head.
Mm-hmm. And you're practicing.
Yes.
For the big show.
So that's where I started. But then, as you said, you can play. And so then I was like, okay, so let's try on these dreams for size. And I think visualization helps you get really, really clear on what you actually want. It's like a dress rehearsal, right? And so you can come in and be like, okay, what would it feel like? Like, let's envision what life would feel like if I, moved overseas. Like, can we walk through that whole thing? And does that feel good? Does that feel authentic? Is that a dream I actually want to pursue? Or do I want to let that go?
Yeah.
So that's how you can blow it up on a macro scale.
That is a macro scale. And I don't think there's probably a single sane person in the United States right now that hasn't thought about moving overseas, right?
Right.
Right.
You're like, okay, but
it's there. What are we
doing?
doing?
That's a really scary statement to start out with. So then if you visualize it, you're like, okay, what would my morning look like? Like what would my apartment look like? What would getting someone to school look like? What would, just how would your life change? And you can try it on for size, kind of.
I have done that. Canada, eh? Not that far.
Right? It's like here, but
colder,
different.
Though.
It is colder.
It's colder.
Yes. We wanted to kind of talk about the brain science behind visualization, but then also the energetics behind visualization, because if we are manifesting our dreams, this is a tool that we can use. So, the whole point of Vibrant Life Society is helping you build a life that feels like you are living in full color. And what we mean by that is it is your best life. It has all of the pieces and all of the things that you want. So we're not out here trying to prescribe you a certain thing. We're giving you the tools to help you design that for yourself. And so,
can I interject something
Yes.
I heard this week was stress is being someplace where you don't want to be. And so I was thinking about work and how stressed out I've been at work. And I was like, it might not be in alignment with who I am anymore. So I was just thinking about that, like any stress in your life is you're out of alignment with who you're supposed to be. And so I was thinking about the areas in your life that you want to tweak. I would look to the areas that are not in alignment with you, that cause you any stress or anxiety, and think about those things as being, you're not supposed to be there. Your soul is quietly leading you to a different place, which is why you're feeling overwhelmed or why you're feeling stressed.
Okay, so let's run with that. So, because I think that's a really good point.
Yeah.
So you're feeling stressed at work, you need to be moving into another area. So then did you visualize different options for you and what that would look like?
I did.
Okay.
I really did. I was like thinking about Vibrant Life. So Vibrant Life, we've been doing this for a year. Like, is this maybe supposed to be my full-time gig? What does it look like in a day? Like, what would it look like when I got up in the morning? What would it look like when I was halfway through my day? Right now, I feel like I'm running kind of fast-paced, and I get to the end of the day, and I'm like, all day long, I'm just like, I can't wait till I'm done. I can't wait till I'm done. I can't wait till I'm done. And it wasn't that way a year ago when we started this. I was like, I'm in my dream job. This is so good.
Yeah.
And then the pace changed and the environment changed a little bit. And so, then I say that, and then yesterday was a really great day at work, So it's not to say that every day's got to look like that, but it's got me thinking. why do I feel stuck right now? What is the next move for me? And then while I was feeling stuck, I woke up early yesterday morning about 6 a.m. and I was like, oh, why am I awake right now? Like, I got a whole nother half hour to sleep before my alarm goes off. It's time to start meditation because that's how I like to start my day. And I just heard a little like, this time is for you. You feel like you don't have time in the day, so we woke you up early. I was like, thanks, guide. So anyways, I sat with it and I was like, what do I need to do? And I was like, you feel stuck, move your body. So I shared with you, I put on some solfeggio tunes. I snuck down to the basement so I didn't wake anybody else up. And I listened to high vibrant music. And I just moved my body in whatever ways felt good to me, because that's what I was envisioning. You feel stuck because your energy is stagnant. And so you got to get moving. And so that was just kind of the first step for me. This is just a new thing. I just saw 1010 on the clock. So if anyone's into angel numbers, that felt significant to say. But I've visualized a new life, made tweaks, changed it. And your soul's meant to keep evolving. So we're not meant to change our life and then we're like, oh, this is the final thing. I had this dream, I was going to have this job, I got that job, and then that's it, life's over. You're supposed to continue to evolve and grow. And so I think I've done that over and over and over again. And my soul's like, it's time to do it again.
Right.
What comes next?
Right. So you get to dream a new dream, and then visualization helps you bring that or drop it into your body in a more concrete way.
In a physical way.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally taking something from a higher dimension in your mind's eye to bringing it into the present moment. And so I think, too, where I'm feeling stuck now is that I used the visualization technique and I created a new life, and I did it again, and I did it again, and I did it again. And we've had all these little tiny things that have changed. But now I'm going after the big stuff, man. So I think it takes longer to bring those things in because they're bigger. They take more energy.
Right.
So I feel like that's where I'm at right now. I'm feeling a little stuck and I'm needing to shake out my energy. I'm a little stagnant. And so I'm trying to figure out how to move forward in that.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get to play.
I get to play.
So while like stuck, you might be hearing that and it's like, oh, that's a downer of an emotion. Like that's an invitation to play.
It's an invitation
You're
to
stuck
play.
In your current reality. So what would change? You know, what do you want to change? What areas do you want to focus on? And then as you try on those different ideas, you get clarity on what you actually want. And then when you focus on that more and more through visualization, that expands and that calls it in. And
and that's where we're at right now.
And that's
so
where we're at.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
I'm just going to drum up something real big next.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
So it is fun. It is fun. And then at the same time, I'm in a place of, the other thing too, we've been talking about our cycles. And I'm becoming more in tune with that. And so I know right now I'm post-ovulatory phase, I think, which is where I've noticed.
You're in the luteal phase.
Yeah, I've noticed a drop in my energy. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's time to just rest for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I'm at right now. I don't know. We'll see. It'll play out. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. So visualization. So for me, what does that look like? And then I want to ask you what it looks like for you. For me, so meditation for me was a game changer when I first started meditating. In fact, I'm working on a meditation mastery class that I recorded in the Smoky Mountains. So there's my drop for that that's going to be in the VIP section of Vibrant Life. I think in May, I think we'll do Meditate May. But for me, I have to drop into some sort of meditation. And so with that, I'll go through all the different forms of meditation. So if guided is not your style, we'll talk about sitting in silence. We'll talk about movement, which I talked about. I did movement yesterday. I usually do guided in the morning to start my days. Today, Cassie and I actually sat in stillness and quiet. We had some frequency music playing or whatever, but it just depends. For me, I need that silent. I can't have anyone talking. It just has to be like high vibe music or nothing at all. And I just drop in. First, I ground myself. I connect myself to source. And then I let my vibration rise. And then I play. I put myself wherever I want to go. And I just envision all the fun things. And the most important thing for me for visualization is the feeling of it. How do I want to feel? And what things are going to bring me those feelings. So trying to make sure you're staying in alignment with what your higher self wants for you.
I like that.
Okay.
So I feel like I use visualization a couple different ways. So if I'm doing like a big dream session, I do feel like meditation is kind of what's needed. And then so I really like guided meditations because again, my brain goes, this probably today was one of the first times I actually was able to sit there and just
You did good.
meditate. Like that is not how that goes for me usually.
Yeah.
Usually I'm like, oh my God, I have 8,000 things on my to-do list. Like I gotta go. So normally I like a guided meditation, or if I'm like trying to envision a certain thing, I'll actually lay there and like talk it out loud to myself.
Okay.
And sometimes I'll even record it so I can listen back to it.
And you do have more space for quiet by yourself. So
I
that
do.
probably makes a difference.
I do,
with that
yeah.
one. Yeah. But I
Because,
like that.
I only have one child. She's at school. I work from home. So I've got more space to do that. But I also feel like in my job as a project manager, I used visualization a lot because I had to foresee what was coming and how we needed to handle it.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it was like group-led visualization of like, okay, guys, let's figure out what we're going to do. Like to me, that is a form of visualization because we're handling the problem before it arises, or we're picturing how we could handle it. So it's a little bit, I like visualization resonates with me because it's all like that strategy. Let's plan ahead. Let's figure it out, guys. And then if I am trying to like implement something new in my life, I will use it at a really granular level. So for example, like the other day I was talking to Audrey, we do Marco Polo back and forth all day. And so I was like, I do not want to do my workout today. Like I am sitting in the gym parking lot. And so I just sat there for a quick minute and I was like, okay, I'm going to get out of the car. And I like pictured myself getting out of the car and I was like, I'm going to walk in. I'm going to have this workout. It's going to be a good workout. So I imagined like how I was going to feel at the end of it and like imagined myself pushing through when it got hard. And then I always treat myself to like the massage bed after. And so I was like, I'm going to go do that and it's going to feel so good. And I'm going to be so proud of myself. And like, so just kind of that of like, before I do the thing, I'm going to visualize myself doing the thing.
Yeah.
And then I went and did it.
You did the damn thing.
And then I went and did the damn thing.
Which is so inspiring though, because you're like, I really don't want to do it. And then I was like, you did it.
Yeah, I did it.
You fucking did it.
I did it. And so I think that brings us to a good point of manifestation is visualization plus action, where wishful thinking is just the thinking part.
Yeah.
You have to do the visualization. If you are trying to call in a dream, if you are trying to call in a new situation, a new life for yourself, you have to first have the vision, have the clarity, and imagine yourself in that. Feel the emotions. But then you need to go and do all the actions you know to do today. Or if you don't know what to do, find a resource.
Inspired action.
Inspired action
meaning you're going to tap into what's the one thing I could do today? And then you're going to hear something and you're going to be like, that's it. That's what I'm going to do. And it doesn't have to be a whole lot. It just has to be at least one thing a day, I would say is probably really great. And then go towards it. And then the universe is going to meet you halfway.
Right. So that's the thing. It's not this just like woo woo. I'm going to sit here and daydream all day. It's you use it as a tool, or at least I do. It's like, this is a tool in my toolbox so I can get clarity. And for me, it really helps with my ADHD scattered mind of like, let me get really focused on what I want, or let me get really focused on how I want this day to go, or how I want this next hour to go, or even this meeting. Because like, for example, I'm studying for a certification right now. So I'll picture myself like passing the exam and like being really focused during the exam. And so I guess for me, I use it a lot of different ways, which is why it was important enough to include in my glow method. Because it was one of the things that changed my life.
Yeah, it is a giant tool, which you're reminding me. I'm like, I've been getting back into it this week, but with my morning meditation, thinking about how I want my day to go. Yeah. And I have been a little tapped out of that, which is okay. You go through periods where sometimes you're like totally tapped in and sometimes you're totally tapped out. So I think I've been a little tapped out. We had vacation. Vacation was overwhelming. It wasn't the relaxing thing we needed. So I think getting back together with you too is probably, that's what I said yesterday. I was like, I think I'm missing Cassie. I think that's what's going wrong in my life right now, is that I'm forgetting to take the time to actually think about what it is I want my days to look like and go for it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we gave you a couple different ways about
Yeah.
how we both have used meditation. You can play with it and grow with it however you want, but we did want to leave you with a 5-minute meditation practice. So if you are brand new to it and you're wanting to implement it into your toolbox.
And this actually is a part of my meditation mastery class.
Fabulous. Well, then kick it off.
So within the meditation mastery class, I'm still working on it, right? I've recorded all the little clips on talking about the different levels of consciousness and the different types of meditation and things like that. But in it, I have this is using visualization for creating your dream life is actually one of the topics. So I'm going back now and I'm working on the different meditations. I'm going to offer a bunch of different guided ones that go with it. And so you could just pop me into your ear and I would walk you through what does your perfect day look like, or what big dream do you have, and then walking you through the steps to get there. So if you're looking for that, that will be in the Vibrant Life section.
Yes.
Probably in May.
I love that.
It's April now, so I better get April 4th. I better get going.
Gotta get on it. Gotta get on it. So let's summarize.
Okay.
Let's summarize for the people. So visualization, it's feeling and seeing.
Yeah. And
Right?
sitting and thinking about what you're doing. So 5 minutes or less. It doesn't have to be
Doesn't
really
need to be
long.
complicated.
Nope. And then the other thing we didn't include is journaling. You can always journal about it. What I really like is if you do decide to do a meditation, when you come out of it, just do a free write. So just have the pen and paper in your lap, and then as soon as you come out of meditation, just start writing, and don't judge anything that comes out. Just do a free write. This is really hard for me. I don't know why I don't like writing, but I've come up with the most significant, I feel stuck. Ooh, I did this thing. I wrote about it, and then I got guidance through my writing. So I think that's a good tool.
That is a good tool. That's
Yeah.
a good thing to. Yeah. So the other thing we're working on is the book talking about the glow method, but then also the planner / journal. And so it has a section for you to write that out. So, and I've been testing it out for us because we want a good product to go out for you guys. And so for me, I'll do that visualization, then I'll write out this is what I saw today, or this is how my day is going to go, or this is how I'm going to win, whatever. So I do think there is something to putting even just a few sentences down.
It doesn't have to be a lot.
Yeah.
But if you do that free write, that is good. But then also you could plan it out a little bit more.
Yes.
Write it down what you're wanting to do.
So the key here for manifesting is you just have to really believe that it's possible before it even becomes real.
Yeah.
And visualization helps you believe that because it helps you see it. It helps clarify it. And then believing helps you act because you believe that it can come true. So it's just this cycle. And so I know if you're scrolling through socials or whatever, everyone's talking about manifesting and calling things in and everything. And that can sometimes feel overwhelming or even a little well, if this was going to happen, why aren't we all rich yet?
Right? Why hasn't it happened yet? And there's self-limiting beliefs that are there, right? So working through those, and I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. I have to look back and be oh gosh, look at all the things I've created. Look at how far I've come. Stopping and acknowledging that is really important too. And then readdressing, okay, where do I still have self-limiting beliefs that are making me feel small? So I can release those. All you have to do is acknowledge and release. You don't even have to know root cause. You just be oh, I've got this self-limiting belief. I'm releasing it now. And then you've made space for that bigger thing to come in. So
yes, I love that. So let us know what you are manifesting, what you're visualizing, what you're visualizing.
Yeah, that word has come before.
Let us know in the comments. Make sure you're following us. Join the free Vibrant Life Society if you haven't yet. We'd love for you to be in there.
Yeah.
We've got all kinds of resources in the free section of the app. Audrey's got Manifest
May. My meditation mastery class.
That's a lot of
how many
M's.
times we can stutter that. We didn't pull a card today.
Oh, we didn't.
Do you want to do that?
Sure, go for it.
Maybe we should have started with that.
Yeah, we should have.
I see Divine Feminine right on top here, so I think that's where it's at.
Okay.
Kind of been where we've been at. Divine Feminine Wisdom. I kind of forgot we were doing that. That's what happens when we take a break.
I know.
Good things and bad things about breaks. It's always good to come back together. For sure. So let's see what we got here. Oh, these are sticky.
Those are sticky.
They're sticky icky. Ooh-wee. I saw a TikTok yesterday on a mom that was criticizing her son for his music choices. And then she goes, let me play you something from my day. And then it started with like, my neck, my back. And then to the windows, to the wall. And I was like, oh yeah, we did have some good. I still listen to that stuff. My kids know some of that. Not the my neck and my back one. That one will be a while longer.
Whoa.
Shit. How about we go with the one that flow?
There we go.
That seems right.
That does seem right.
Flow. I step into the flow and let myself be moved. I honor the nature of movement and flow, spiraling, moving, flowing inward, and yet simultaneously outward, in all directions and interdirectional towards light, source from light, waves like the ocean, heart energy intertwining, consistent and constantly changing. Energy is ever shifting, changing, and moving, sometimes ebbing and sometimes flowing. If one energy is not flowing, certainly another is. There are currents of flow that we can tune into at any given time. We can ride these currents like a supportive slipstream of the divine. When we are in a state of flow, we can feel like we are immersed, connected to the divine, energized, focused, or maybe even feeling like time is fluid. When we are not in a state of flow, we might feel like we are stuck, stagnant, or paddling upstream against the current. If energy is flowing, it is easier for it to stay flowing. If energy doesn't feel like it's flowing, it may take work to initiate flow, movement, and action. We can create flow of energy within our intentions and actions. Sometimes we are going with the flow that is created outside of us. It isn't always what serves us most. So it is important to ask ourselves what flow we are creating and writing consistently in our lives. Think about how you meet flow and ebbs. Notice if there are any areas of stagnancy that you've been pushing up against. Consider re-enlivening it to flow with new intention, or release that energy to allow a new energetic current to flow, since we can't force flow. Create space to tune into what is flowing. Okay, so I guess I'm going to leave it at the end because I was talking about feeling stuck and I wasn't sure what to do next. And then divine guidance comes through and tells me to step back into flow, which is what I did with my meditation yesterday morning when I was like, it's time to move.
Well, so when you were talking about it or reading it, to me, it brought up like visualization is a way to tap into the flow. Like if you don't know what waves you're trying to ride, that visualization, because you're getting those emotions. And so you're almost pulling the strings that you want and pulling them forward as you go. So that way you're tapped into them.
Yeah, I love it.
So
perfect. On that end, we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Exciting news! The Vibrant Life Society is now open, and we'd love for you to join our incredible community of empowered women. Sign up through the link in the show notes to start creating your most vibrant, joy-filled life today. And thank you for tuning in to our Vibrant Life podcast. We hope today's episode has energized and inspired you to live your best life. If you enjoyed what you heard, be sure to subscribe on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. And please take a moment to leave us a review. Your feedback fuels our mission to bring you more valuable content. Stay connected with us on social media at Vibrant Life Society for daily tips, motivation, and community support. As we wrap up today's conversation, we encourage you to embrace each moment, pursue your passions, and prioritize your well-being. Together, let's create a life that radiates with energy and purpose. Until next time, live vibrantly. See you in our next episode.